I've been wanting to film this video since the start of January, so that was exactly a week ago, and we're at the ending of the first week of January, so Happy New Year to every one of you, and I hope the year has been treating all of you so good so far. This is gonna be a conversational reset video, and honestly, I don't even know, like I have points of what I'm gonna talk about, but we're just gonna kind of flow and kind of see how everything works out, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video. My name is Angel, by the way. I feel like every time a new year starts, we often forget about everything we were able to achieve in the previous year, and we kind of just hyper focus on everything we were not able to achieve. And honestly, life should not be lived like this. And I know that January comes with a lot of pressure to be a different person, be the best version of yourself, and just wake up the next day as a completely different person just because the calendar year changed, when in reality, January 1st is just the next day after December 31st. Reflecting on 2025. I know that everybody says this, oh, reflect, but honestly, it is true. And I'm talking to you guys, but I am also talking to myself. We need to think about like, oh, what did I do last year that didn't help me achieve this goal? What did I do that didn't make this work out? I didn't achieve everything I wanted to last year, which I think is every single person, but I feel like we still all grew in some sort of way. There are moments where I've had to choose myself. I've had to let go of bad habits, let go of friendships that didn't work for me. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later in the video. And honestly, not everything was easy, but I feel like a lot of people, myself included, we only count achievements based on things that we can see, like career wins, money, or even big milestones, when in reality, and I don't even know if me saying this sounds just so like corny, I don't know, but it is the truth, honestly, and I'm trying to be as like vulnerable and honest with myself as possible this year and in this video to you guys. We learn how to set boundaries, we learn how to say yes when we wanted to say yes, we learn how to say no when we wanted to say no, and honestly, if the only thing you did last year was survive, girl, and guys, that is still okay. Still reflecting on 2025, another thing we need to do is let go of guilt and comparison. And you're like, guilt? But yes, guilt of letting go, guilt of changing your decisions, guilt of resting, and more importantly, comparison. My mom has told me this a million times growing up, that comparison is the thief of joy. Because when you start comparing yourself to other people, you actually fail to realize how far you've actually come in life. And the thing is, a lot of the time when we compare our lives, we're comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's life highlight reel. Because on social media, people only post what they want you to see. They post their best moments, they post their best outfits, they post their happiest moments, me included, because I do social media, so I know the truth. Like, I don't post when I'm crying, I don't post when I'm in arguments with my siblings, and arguments with my family, and arguments with my friends, or anything like that. I don't post that, and you don't know that, and you may be having those types of issues in your life, and you think like, oh my god, this person is so perfect and blah blah blah, but it's not true. Everyone's journey looks different and everyone's timing is different, and just because someone is ahead of you in one area, that doesn't mean that you're behind or you're failing in that particular area of your life as well. Honestly, I feel like I'm so happy to be talking about this because the words are kind of just flowing, and I feel like I'm talking to myself as well. And the truth is, sometimes we just need to have this quiet time conversation with ourselves, because it helps in our heads, it helps something just click, like, oh yeah. And I know I'm talking to a camera, so I'm kind of not talking to myself, but I'm still talking to myself. Let's face the reality of it. What does a reset actually mean? I think that the word reset, or just a reset in general, is often misunderstood, because from my understanding, a reset is not starting from zero, it's starting from experience, and experience is valuable. A reset doesn't mean starting over, it doesn't mean you failed. I think that it also means just checking with yourself and seeing if the way you're living your life is in alignment with where you're trying to go, if it's in alignment with all the fancy aesthetic and cute pictures that are on your vision board. So instead of trying to reinvent myself this year, I'm choosing to move forward with more intention and being more specific about my actions, just because I know I'm trying to go somewhere, I'm trying to achieve something, and these actions that I'm doing is everything behind the scenes that is going to help me get to where I'm trying to go. Intentions for 2026, and this is the fun part where we make our vision board with Pinterest and we put everything together, and it's looking so cute. So if you have your computer or your journal, go grab it and let's do this together. But another thing that I want everyone to remember, myself included, is that no matter how many cute pictures we put together on Pinterest, no matter how many things we write down, at the end of the day, what really matters is our prayer, relationship, and communication with God. Because when we're making our vision boards, you should leave some room for disappointment, like not really disappointment, but leave some room for like what happens if I don't achieve this goal, because at the end of the day, it is whatever God has planned for our lives that's going to happen. And the truth is, we might not achieve everything on our vision boards. So when we don't achieve those things, try not to be sad. Easier said than done, of course, but try to think about every other thing you were able to achieve, like I said like earlier in this video. It got a little dark outside, but that is okay. I'm finally done making my vision board, and I thought I would just share some of the things that I put on my vision board this year and some things that I put on my vision board from last year that I was able to achieve. Starting off strong with my license, I think that every single year since I've moved to Canada, I've put on my vision board I want to get my license, and not until last year that I actually start working towards getting my license. I don't have my full license yet, but I have my learners, and I'm actually taking driving lessons right now. So before you know it, I'm gonna have my full license. Another thing that I put was that I really wanted to work with a particular amount of brands, and I was able to do this in both paid and gifted collaboration. I also added traveling. I wasn't able to travel out of the country, but I did travel from Winnipeg to Toronto for something related to my content, and I was able to go to Kendrick Lamar and SZA's concert, and that was my first ever mainstream artist concert. So that was definitely so exciting. I feel like my vision board from last year was pretty personal, so there are quite a lot of things that I cannot really share from that. But for this year, I would say that I also put again my license to get my full license. I also put obviously trying to grow my relationship with God. That is something I'm really trying to do. Like, I'm just trying to become a better person, not just like a better Christian, but just a better person in general. Really trying to get to know God for myself, and just communicating with him more and talking to him more, praying more, I would say. Like, yeah. Another thing that I added is to also grow relationships with friends and family. I think I'm pretty good at this, but I also just want to be more intentional with choosing my friends and being more intentional with who I surround myself with. I think that everyone I have around me right now is amazing. I have the best set of friends. I have the most loving and most amazing family, and I'm so grateful to God. Like, I was watching one of my friends' YouTube videos today, and she was saying how people a lot of the time say stuff like, when I post content, it is strangers that support me, not my friends. And honestly, she was saying it's the opposite for her. And honestly, it's the same for me. Like, I have the most amazing and most supportive and loving friends who literally support my content and support everything I do. So, but still, I'm just talking about like if I'm making like new friends, I guess, trying to be more intentional with my selections and trying to be more intentional with who I let into my space, who I let into my circle. Another thing I put on my vision board is how I want to dress. And I know you're like, how you want to dress, but yeah, I feel like towards the last quarter of 2025 is when I really started figuring out how I want to dress, how I want to look, because honestly, I've been through a lot of phases in terms of fashion and just style, and I think now I'm really realizing what I like to wear. And another thing with actually knowing how you want to dress is you're not just going to be purchasing every single clothing item or everything that's trendy, because you have a look and you know what you're trying to go for, so you're actually only picking pieces that you actually need to achieve the style that you want. Looking at my vision board from last year, there were still so many things that I wasn't able to achieve, but that's the thing though. I want everyone to know that progress isn't always about checking off boxes, but progress sometimes is just learning and growing from experiences. And that is the mindset that I think I want to take and we should all take into 2026. If you're watching this and you feel behind, you're not. If you're watching this and you don't have everything figured out, that is okay as well, because growth takes time. Healing takes time, and becoming takes time. You're allowed to be gentle with yourself. You're allowed to change your decisions, and you are also allowed to be proud of yourself. Even of the smallest accomplishments, you should be proud of yourself. As we're starting 2026, I just want everyone to remember that you don't need to prove anything to anyone but yourself. And this new year is all about becoming the best version of yourself. becoming more in tune with who you are as a person at your own pace. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I feel like I just gave a TED Talk, especially with this mic on my lip gloss that I'm holding. But if this video helped you in any way at all, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment and a like. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!